Hi, good morning, students. We are here with a new chapter of function. It's part 3. Before this part 3, there are other slides that I have given. Read the different items that I have given as well as the notes. So here in this slide, today I will discuss about how the parameters I have discussed on the previous slide. That what is actual parameter, what are formal parameters, how the parameters are passed to the function. In this slide, I'll discuss how the parameters are passed. The parameters are passed, or the arguments are passed through two things. One is called call by value, and one is called call by reference. Or two methods. One is call by value, and another one is call by reference. So, what are these call by value and call by reference? Now, call by value means when we pass the actual parameters, there are two parameters I have told you. One is actual, second one is formal. Actual parameters are present in the calling function and formal parameters are present in the called function. So when we pass the actual parameters while calling a function, then this is known as a function call. It's quite clear. Now, in this case, the values of the actual parameters are copied to the formal parameters. How? Here, the formal parameters act as an agent of the actual parameters, right? You are not doing the work, you are just sending the or giving the description to the agents. The agents will do the operation and will transfer the value to the actual parameters. So all the operations will be done by the formal parameters, but the work of the formal parameters will not affect or will not be reflected in the actual parameters. Clear? So suppose in a simple program we are taking two variables. In the main function we are taking a and b, and there is an addition function or called function inside which we are taking two formal parameters which are x and y. So here a and b are the actual parameters and x and y, these are the agents. All of the addition operation, whatever be the thing that will be done by the x and y. After doing the operation, the x and y will send the value to the actual parameters. That means when the output will be taken out or when the output will be shown, it will be reflected as in the form of actual parameters, not with the formal parameters. Right? So this is called call by value. And second one is call by reference. Here, call by reference means, or there is another name for it, it is called call by address. Whenever we call a function by passing the address of actual parameters, then this way of calling the function is known as call by reference. In call by reference, the operation that are performed on the formal parameters affects the value of actual parameter, because all the operations performed on the value stored in the address of actual parameters. In call by reference, the operation performed on the formal parameters x and y are the formal parameters here. So whatever is done on the formal parameters, obviously it will affect the value of the actual parameter, that means a and b, right? Because all the operations will be performed and stored in the address of the actual parameter. The agent cannot be stored inside the actual one, right? You have given a job to the agent will do the operation and will send the information to you. That doesn't mean that the agent can access your address also. Clear? So this is called call by reference. It may sound confusing, I have written here, it may sound confusing first, but I have given some examples to clear it out. Okay. So take an example of call by value. In this example, I have taken a main function, or I have taken a calling function as a main function. Here I have declared or initialized a variable which is num1, which is taking a value 20, and another variable which is num2, and num2 is holding a function. What is the function? It's increment num1. That means if 20 is the value, then it will be 21, and thus in this way it will increment. So increment is a function. So num1 and num2, these two things are actual parameters. Quite clear? Now in the called function, I have written above the main function, that means I am defining the function. So in int increment, or in the increment function, I have passed a parameter or an argument which is var, int var, right? So whenever I am passing a variable inside it, var equals to var plus 1. That means the value of the var or the variable var, this is called the formal parameter. The var will automatically increase, or I have increased here var equal to var plus 1. So whatever be the change in var will be transferred or imposed or will reflect on which value? On the actual parameters num2. So whenever I am changing anything on var, the value will be reflected on the actual parameters, which is num2. By this way I can take the value of num1 as well as num2. Clear? So it is quite easy. Call by value means passing the value only, no problem in there. In the next step I am showing another thing. It is call by reference. In this call by reference I am taking a main function body. You can see this is the calling function and this is the called function. Again the same case. Here I am taking a formal parameter which is num equals to 20, initializing a value. After that I have written there, this way of calling the function is known as call by reference. Instead of passing the variable num, we are passing the address of the variable. So here I am writing num equals to 20. We are writing, in the previous example we have written here num2 equals to increment num1. That means I will increment the value of num2. Increment the value of num2 by how? By incrementing the value of num1. I will store the value of num1 by incrementing it inside num2. But here, instead of incrementing the value here, I am incrementing the address. So here I have written increment ampersand num. Clear? That means I am changing the address of num, or I am incrementing by depending on the address of num. Now come to increment function. In the increment function, it has a return type void. That means no return type is there, and I am passing a integer type variable. It is called data type. It is called pointer. It is called var. var is an integer pointer variable. Clear? Here in the previous one var is a actual parameter, here also var is an actual parameter, but here var is an integer pointer variable because it will point to the address of another variable. So here, although we are performing the increment on variable, I have written however the var is a pointer, it holds the address of variable num. Quite clear. I have written here ampersand num is my actual value and I want the address of it. Who will point to it? Var will point to it. So I am incrementing the value of var. Star var equals to star var plus 1. Right? Which means the increment is actually done on the address where value of num is stored. Right? Increment is actually done on the address. By how? By using var. So star var equals to star var plus 1. This is this call by reference is done in pointer. Pointer, I haven't gone through pointer right now. I will give a new slide or new topic on pointer. There I'll discuss what is call by reference. But till now you will understand two things. One is call by value. Second one is call by reference. Clear? So this is one example of call by reference. In call by value I am incrementing the value. Here I am incrementing the value var equals to var plus 1. And the var is var is taken by this num1. Num1 is the actual parameter. Whatever be the change in var will be reflected on num1. Clear? In this case only, instead of value I am changing the address. So here I am writing, instead of integer var I am writing integer star var. Star var equals to star var plus 1. That means it will point to the address. So here by incrementing the address I can check the value where the value of num is stored. Right? So one format is you are directly going to the person who is incrementing it or through the agent, and second one is you are pointing to the address. Through the address you are getting a knowledge that who is the person. This is the difference. One more thing in this part is passing array to function using call by reference. When we pass the address of an array while calling a function, it is called function call by reference. As I have told you, call by reference. When we pass an address as an argument, then the function declaration should have a pointer. It is must. Whenever we will use a pointer, pointer means a pointer is a variable which will point to the address of another variable. Pointer is an element which will point to the address of another variable. Right? How? Take an example. You all buy some articles in Flipkart. So you have ordered an item in Flipkart. Now, who is the pointer here? The pointer will point to the address of another element. Who is buying the item? Me or you? Who is pointing? Obviously the person or the salesperson who is sending the item. So here the courier boy is a pointer. It is pointing to the address of another variable. That means I am a variable. It is not pointing to its own address. It is pointing to the address of mine or you. That means it is pointing to the address of another variable. Clear? This is the idea of pointer. I'll describe it later. So here in this thing I am passing some array or passing array to function. Again the same thing, I am passing integer. Main function is the actual function. Inside it I am taking an array or declaring or initializing an array, int array. I haven't given any size because I have initialized how many elements will be present inside it and what are the elements here. So you can easily see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 elements are there. So the size of the array, maximum size of the array is 10. Clear? Now after that I am taking a for loop. For int I equals to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. That means I will take the value starting with I equal to 0 and less than 10. That means I equal to 0 to 9. 0 to 9 means there are 10 elements. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 0 to 9 are the 10 elements. 10 elements are present. So by I plus plus it will gradually increment. That means the loop will increase and it will pass the address of the array elements one by one. And how can I see this? By using a function. I have used here a function which is known as display or disp. Inside disp will show you the address of the element, of the array element, ampersand array I. Right? Now disp is a function. So here I have defined disp, void disp int star num. Now num is a pointer variable, integer pointer variable. It will point to the address of array I. So here I am printing num is pointed, or the address will be pointed or incremented to this array I, or depends on the array I. So whatever will be the change in num, it will reflect in array I. This is called call by reference. Clear? In the next, so up to this is okay. If you have any query, you can ask me in discussion forum regarding this call by value, call by reference. And for the next, I will go for another video of function. There might be 4 or 5 videos, small videos regarding it. It will be easy for you to learn from here. Stay tuned to the next video. Thank you.